Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at a PSG assistant manager 4-1-2-3 DMY tactic. I use this tactic throughout my recent PSG journey to UEFA Champions League glory, and along the way we won all competitions with ease. I noticed that we only lost one game throughout the season. That was the first match of the season to OG Nice. This tactic has different ways of working, and I'm going to share with you in the description. You can download the different versions of this tactic that I use throughout the season. So before we go to tactic in detail, well, welcome to Dark Horse FM. And if you find this video useful, please leave a like on it. You can also leave a comment down below, and you can subscribe to the channel to get notifications when any new videos come up. So it's a custom vertical tiki-taka with normal pressing for the team, and I did this because I want Mbappe up front and I want the opposition to step out of their defensive line a bit and leave a lot of space for him to run in behind. So I dropped the pressing from high pressing that it was before and to a normal pressing start, just to allow the opposition to step out of their defensive line a bit and create more space for Mbappe to run into. Also, to be honest, I don't really like high pressing tactics. That's pressing my opposition all the way into their own half and then not actually having any end product from that, just constantly passing around the box and trying so hard to score. So I needed that space. That's why I reduced the pressing from this tactic. We'll go into the player roles shortly, and then we'll look at the team instructions in general just to see how the team is set up. So guys, in the goalkeeper position, we used a super keeper on support. This was Gianluigi Donnarumma for most of the season. When I use Keylor Navas in goal, I sometimes switch to super keeper on defense just to be more cautious. But when Donnarumma was in goal, it was super keeper on support, and it's useful to start counter-attacks and take advantage of the spaces left in behind by opposition defenders. This is also very suitable to the fast attacking style of play we're using for this tactic. The fullbacks are wing backs, or the two fullbacks, yes, are set to play as wing backs. The left back is on attack while the right back is on support. And when the right back is set to attack, the left back is then going to be set to support. I only use the right back and left back as support. I only use the right back and left back on attack duty if I'm using a defensive midfielder on defend duty. Both central defenders are one ball playing defender on defend, while the other is a central defender on defend. Both players have to be good on the ball. This being PSG, as a big team, I expect both players to be good on the ball, and they can pick long passes and carry the ball out of defense pretty easily and not give away possession in the back four. The defensive midfielder is a regista on support. This is the playmaker on the heart of the team. He's an aggressive deep line playmaker that can start counter-attacks. He has good vision and good passing, much like Wijnaldum and Paredes, and they are the two players that actually played in this role for me. Recall from the fullback instruction that if the fullbacks are set to attack, both fullbacks are set to attack, this role will not be the regista. It will be a defensive midfielder on defend. That's when both fullbacks are set to attack. The central midfielder on the left is a mezzala, and that's either Angel Di Maria or Rafinha Alcantara. These are the two players I use in this role most of the time. This role can normally be switched to a box-to-box midfielder for a more cautious approach in big games or when you're just trying to see out the game. And I expect that when you're using a mezzala on the left-hand side, the player is going to be left-footed. If you're going to use the mezzala on the right-hand side, the player should be right-footed. That's also very paramount if you're using this tactic for a lower league team or a team that doesn't have as much quality as PSG. But PSG being the side that they are, the mezzala on the left can be a player that is good on both feet, as both players are actually going to be good on both feet, as Wijnaldum, and because I also use Wijnaldum in this role as well. He's good on both feet, so he played either on the left or on the right. He worked well and I used Wijnaldum. But for Di Maria's case, I noticed I had to stick Di Maria on when only playing on the left-hand side. The central midfielder on the right is a deep line playmaker on support. I opted for support because I wanted him to also take part in creating chances for the team. Normally, like I said, this role can also be played on the left hand side while the mezzala is on the right. but you can use the deep line playmaker on support most of the time. I never really tried using this guy on defend, but it's possible if you do so. Now the left winger here is an inverted winger on attack. You can switch this player to inside forward. This player is usually Neymar or Draxler, but most of the time it's Neymar. He's actually going to help out in attack and play and be an attacking outlet for the team. Ensure that when this player is on attack duty, the fullback that is paired with him is set to support. For the right winger, we use an inside forward on support. This is Messi. Most of the time it's Lionel Messi. On rare occasions that I use Di Maria in this role. And also, much like the left winger, the right winger, when this player is on support, the fullback that is paired with him should be set to attack. And when the player on this role is set to attack, the fullback that is paired with him should be set to support. The striker in this role, it's an advanced forward on attack. It's usually Kylian Mbappe or Mario Icardi. This is the only role I really didn't experiment with. I kept this role constant throughout the game. I noticed Mbappe and Icardi played the advanced forward position differently because of their preferred style of play. I used Icardi for his aerial advantage in matches where the opposition sat deep a lot, but Mbappe also was very, very good for the faster attacking plays, exploiting the spaces behind, like we explained earlier, looking at the team instructions. So for the team set pieces, there isn't any for this tactic. I played this tactic without using set pieces, just to see how the team was going to rack up many goals if it was possible to do that without set pieces, and it worked. So the assistant manager usually manages the opposition instructions. The team instructions are set like this. There's a normal high line of engagement, I would say, and a high defensive line as well for the team. Not much higher defensive line, but just one notch high defensive line and high line of engagement. The team is asked to press more urgent, just more urgent pressing, not extremely urgent pressing like I explained earlier from the beginning. They are also asked to prevent short goalkeeper distribution and to mark tighter. In transition, the team is expected to counter press and to counter attack as well. The goalkeeper is asked to take long kicks. This is added because I'm using a super keeper on defend. Normally I expected him to play the ball out of defense, but once in a while, as the season went on, I noticed the assistant manager repeatedly kept asking me to take advantage of taking long kicks. So I added the take long kicks instructions to also take advantage of the spaces that is left behind by the opposition defensive line. Now let's note this take long kicks is an instruction set by the manager for the goalkeeper. I noticed most goalkeepers, even though they are super keeper on defend and support, their eccentricity doesn't actually allow them to start counter attacks out of the blue. So I noticed adding this is normally an instruction from the manager to the goalkeeper to actually take long kicks and hope for anything that happens. Not that the goalkeeper actually sighted a player in enemy lines and then decided to hit the ball long to him. That's not really the case. In this case, is take long kicks as an instruction from the manager as well to the goalkeeper. So in possession, the team is asked to play more direct passing, slightly more direct, I guess, depending on the mentality here, and we're going to get to that soon. Is also asked to play out of defense, as you can see. There's low crosses into the box, and the team is also asked to walk the ball into the box as well. There's more expression for the team, and they also play through the middle. This was very important because we were trying to make use of the Mezzala and the Regista in their roles. The Mezzala is also going to shift into the half spaces a bit, and while the Regista is also going to get ahead of the deep lying playmaker that it's in midfield and as the holding midfielder sort of. So the Regista is also going to get forward from his role. That's why this play through the middle is really important. Also, there are underlaps for left and right. It plays alongside with playing the ball through the middle for the Regista as well, and the Mezzala also. The team's tempo is high, the width is narrow. The mentality is set to positive. For most of the season, this was in attacking, but then I noticed that we got towards the latter ends of the season, I swapped this mentality to positive to allow the team to be more methodical in their approach towards winning games. Okay guys, we're quickly going to go through the stats throughout the season. Just looking at it here from a quick view. We had 99 points, that's one shot of 100. Mbappe scored the most goals for PSG with 38 goals, just 2 short of 40. Neymar had the highest rating with 7.47. Messi had 19 assists throughout the season, and Marquinhos was the best passer in the team with 98. But clearly, I think his was safer passing than any long balls because Ramos was the ball-playing defender, playing the more risky passing. You can look at the league table here now. We scored 105 goals. And you can see that we only conceded 17 as well. We only lost just the one game against Nice at the beginning of the season, like I said much earlier. And most of the goals that we scored, in addition to this 105 from the league, we scored them in other cup competitions and Champions League as well. Going into the Champions League team stats as well, we had the highest amount of goals with 39. We went all the way to win the trophy. In the French Cup, we also scored the highest amount of goals with 18 as well. We had 18 goals, higher than the next team that was there with 15. They must have scored a lot of goals to have 15, close to PSG, that ended up winning the competition. In the trophies, the champions, this is much like the Community Shield for the league as well. So I think this doesn't really matter. In the player stats for each of these competitions, Mbappe had the highest goals in the Champions League too. Icardi also scored only 8 goals in the Champions League. I think Mbappe played more Champions League games than he did, so that's expected as well. In the league, Messi had the most assists, and Verratti as well came in, had 12 assists also for the team. The most goals was by Icardi in the league with 24. Neymar had 20 and Mbappe scored 18 goals, which means most of the goals he was bagging was in the Champions League. He was always available for those games. And I noticed I used Icardi for some of the league games anyway, so that might be the reason why Mbappe scored only 18 in the league. Messi had 13 as well, playing from a support position on the right-hand side. Looking at the team's general outputs from squad view, we can see that the most goals here was scored by Kylian Mbappe with 38. Icardi managed to bag 33 goals and Neymar had 24 overall. Messi scored up to 17 goals in all competitions from the support side, which in my opinion for him, might be really low considering Messi as well, but I played him on support duty, so that might also explain why he has only 17 and Neymar has 24 goals, because I use Neymar on attack duty and Messi on support duty. Ramos also chipped in with 12 goals. Some of this were from corners, I guess, but I didn't use any set pieces. The others were just him finding himself in the right area and getting the ball there. The rest were Angel Di Maria had 8, Marquinhos had 5, Wijnaldum had 5, so there were a lot of goals in the team. I had to get to Draxler that didn't score before you start seeing the rest, like Luka Dean, which came later in the season, like I mentioned, and most of them are defensive players that didn't really get much goals. Verratti had only 1 goal, but 16 assists. I think he has the most in the team. Ranging it from assists, I noticed, okay, Messi has 19, then Verratti has 16, Neymar has 15 assists, and Di Maria has 14 as well. Most of the other players in the team as well chipped in with assists. Icardi coming in with 5, Wijnaldum also having 5 assists. Draxler himself, although he didn't score, had 6 assists. Alright guys, so that is the tactic. I'm going to leave the link in the description for you so you can download the tactic and try it out for yourself and test it to see how it works. You can also find this tactic on FM Scout. Remember to leave a like down below and also comment to let me know how the tactic worked out for you. You can subscribe to the channel to get notifications for whenever the next video comes up. I'll see you guys in the next video.